Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
One of my favorite traditions that we always do is that we'll write down names on a slip of paper and we'll put it in a hat, and then we'll draw names out, and whatever name you get is you go and buy for that person, kind of like a white elephant gift. But I don't know. I've always liked that. It's one of my favorite.
A few of my favorite things we do on Christmas is baking with my mom and reading Christmas stories together as a family.
I like the memory I have, and I hope I don't cry, of when we first moved here, and we didn't have a whole lot because we were just moving and we had lost our job, and we usually buy ornaments for the kids every year, and we baked our own ornaments that year and painted them and decorated them, and then we made neighbor gifts, and the kids helped put those together, and we passed them all out as a family, and that was really fun. And I remember watching, I think it was It's a Wonderful Life that year, and Curtis's mom was over, and then I think that was the year we also went to the cemetery and put luminaries on our my grandparents' graves. And so that's a good memory for me, and it happened to snow that year on Christmas. So it's just a good memory for me. And I think keeping it simple is the best thing I need to remember. Makes the best memory for Christmas to me.
When I think about Christmas, I think about all the things that we do. I can't put one thing that I enjoy the most about Christmas. It's about family, it's about food, it's about giving each other of your time and gift exchange and doing things for your neighbors. We really enjoy that. That, to me, bringing home Christmas is, to me, all of those things. So those things are cherished.
One of my Christmas memories was going to the Polar Express and to go to town lighting.
Merry Christmas from the McCulloughs!
Some things I like about Christmas are giving gifts to people and seeing the looks on their faces, and spending time with cousins and aunts and uncles and family.
My favorite family tradition is on Christmas Eve we open up presents and they have pajamas in them, and we just sleep in our pajamas and wake up next morning with pajamas on.
Yes. I like giving Santa cookies and eat carrots for the reindeer.
What do you love about Christmas, Hannah?
Opening presents.
When does Santa come?
On Christmas night.
How does he get in your house?
For the chimney.
Doesn't he burn up?
No.
How come?
Because it's not lighted. Our favorite tradition is we go over to our grandma's house and eat breakfast. One of our family traditions is we go fishing. Well, it's not really fishing, but our family, at my grandma's house, we go, and they have a curtain. We put our fishing pole there, and then they give every one of us a present. And then so you go, and you're not allowed to open it until you sit down, and whoever opens it first wins. One of my family's tradition is going to our grandma's house, getting one present, and waiting till everybody gets theirs. And usually they're like a pillow or a blanket.
I love the snow. It has a pretty white color.
My favorite thing about Christmas is the day before Christmas. At night we go to my grandma's house and we all act out the nativity scene.
I've thought back about 70 years. I think the thing that I remembered most about one Christmas, Grandpa had a wire recorder. Now, I'm sure that many of you don't even know what a wire recorder is, but it's like just where you push a button and your voice records on a tape, but this would record on a little wire. And he made all of us sing that year, and every one of us took part. And it was just so much fun to see Grandma and Grandpa, even Grandpa got up and he sang a song, and it was just so wonderful. And my dad, he got up and he just told what he had been doing all year and how hard the winter was, and that was kind of, I could just remember special little things about my family, and I think that's what makes Christmas so special, is family all together.
Hey, one of our favorite Christmas traditions is going to the Mesa Temple Lights. We pretty much do it every year, and we love to feel the spirit of Christmas and see all the lights and the nativities around the temple.
One of my family traditions is that every part of our family gets to open up one present on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, everybody just opens up one present, and then we get to open up all our presents.
What else do you love about Christmas?
Hanging up the Christmas tree.
Okay, our family tradition that we do every year is that on Christmas Eve we will get basically seafood like shrimp, some fish meat like maybe some salmon or halibut, and we'll cook it all up and have like a little seafood feast. And we just have a fun time. And shockingly, at the end of each meal, after we do the nativity, we will watch Wall-E until we go to bed.
We see all our cousins and we act out Jesus' birth.
Merry Christmas from the Handpots.
One of our family traditions is that we would make a little New Year's resolution, and then we'd put it in a box, and we would open it the next year and read it.
What do you love about Christmas?
Get Mommy house. I like to get a puppy.
One of my favorite memories is when my dad and I go out and shoot rabbits and they jump up like rockets.
My favorite thing about Christmas is when we get to do snowball fights.
One of my favorite family traditions is opening a present on Christmas Eve, and it's always pajamas.
Okay, our family has the habit of every now and then, well, under the Christmas tree there'll be a spoof, a present that's not, is kind of a joke. Like you'll unwrap it and there'll be an apple core or something. Years ago, when John was a little boy, I opened a present from him. And it was just a can, like a green bean can. The wrapper was gone. And I didn't know whether it was a joke. I didn't know how to respond. But I responded properly. I'm going, oh my. And he comes, Dad, it's a trick can. And he takes the can and he puts it on the floor and pushes his hand on it and flips it. And it spins and flips. And every time you do it, it spins and flips a different way. And pretty special present.
One of my family's traditions is we have this little toy tractor, and it goes automatically. You just have to switch it on, and we put it out every Christmas.
I love putting up the Christmas tree and opening the presents.
Putting up Christmas lights on a frigid evening is one of my favorite parts of Christmas. It's so fun.
What's your favorite present you ever got?
A pocket knife. I like Christmas cookies and to decorate the Christmas tree.
My favorite part of Christmas that I've learned to love throughout the years, especially since I've been married, is the joy that Christmas brings to my wife's face, and the house, and decorating the house, and having her be like a little child and receiving her gifts.
One of my family traditions is going to my grandma's house and opening up a present, and it's always pajamas.
Right. All over Europe, we have a tradition about Advent, which is the 4 Sundays before Christmas. So we light one candle per Sunday up until Christmas, which means that we're waiting for the Christ birth. Go ahead, Carl. Advents, they come till autumn summer lives. Freddy's talking and spotted något ska ske bortom frostig advent. Jag väntar en gåva som Herren sänder. God jul och ett gott nytt år!
Translation: Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
One of my family traditions is watching Elf.
Ella, what do you want for Christmas?
My two front teeth. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth.
What do you boys want for Christmas?
Two front teeth.
One of my favorite Christmas memories is when I was little. I went to my grandma's. I got hurt that day, but I got all my family was there, and it was fun. And for a Christmas present I got that year, it was a little hamster. And we swing before Santa comes, and then he gives us presents, and then once he leaves, our grandma gives our presents.
Over 50 years ago, we started our tradition of cutting our own Christmas tree. There were no restrictions and no permits we had to get. We could just go out and cut the tree where we wanted.
Leo was working in Heber at the time, and he would look in the woods and find the largest, most beautiful blue spruce, and he always would find the biggest. And so we would bundle up the kids and make a day of it. And finally, it was too much hassle, and to Leo's disappointment, we bought an artificial tree.
One of my favorite memories for Christmas is when it snows, and my dog and I go running around in the snow, and he gets snow on his nose and he flicks it up.
Going to my grandma's house the day after Christmas. What I like about Christmas is that you get have presents.
One of my most favorite memories about Christmas each year is I beg my dad to at least do a poetry gift for all of us family kids and Randall family members. It's just a big tradition to our family.
We always decorate gingerbread men before we put up the Christmas tree.
What does Santa Claus bring?
I get things like that. My mom and dad gave me an elf on the shelf, and if you touch it, it'll lose its magic to report to Santa. So, a couple nights ago, it goes in a different place. So, this time it was hanging off my mom and dad's picture frame, and we found a board marker, and she drew all over our family picture.
One of my memories is going to cut Christmas trees with my family here, and we would always go up on top of Escadilla Mountain. This particular year it was snow packed up there, and we were able to get in. My dad is coming down the hill on the snow, and he slipped, and then we were laughing at him because he slipped, and then he gets back up and he starts walking, and he slips again, and he gets back up, and he slipped all the way down that hill, and we were laughing so hard. It's one of my fondest memories.
What we do for tradition is we sing Silent Night with all the candles in our house lighted up.
And I love to hang Christmas lights. It's a tradition that I try to get better every year.
My memory is I ran downstairs one time, and then I looked at my spot where I sit at dinner, and there was a pillow pet, and then my stocking was on the table, so I started eating candy.
I like decorating the Christmas tree.
Making donuts.
One of the Fleming family traditions is a month before Christmas we'll all draw names, and whoever you get, you have to be kind for the rest of the month till Christmas, and we buy them a $5 to $10 gift, and then we all exchange them on Christmas Eve.
And then for Christmas
Breakfast, my mom always makes quiche and cinnamon rolls, and that's my favorite.
What I like to do is go caroling with my brothers and stuff. My favorite is just getting the family together on Christmas Eve and having a dinner together with each other, and then opening our gifts that we got for each other and finding out whose secret Santa or secret person it was.
When our oldest two, we're probably about 2 and 1 year apart, or 2 years apart. Anyways, they're about 3 years old, 2 years old, somewhere around there. We all went to Grandma's house, and there was aunts and uncles and cousins. There were probably about 30 people staying there that night, and there was hundreds of presents all just stacked up everywhere in the tree. Well, our oldest son, who was about 3 at the time, decided to get up and wake his little brother up, and they decided they were going to open every present up. So when we woke up Christmas morning, every present was open, and the fun part was we had to figure out who gave who to what, because, you know, Aunt Gertrude had mailed stuff to the kids, and all this. We just all laughed and had a good time trying to figure out who was supposed to get what and where it came from. That was a fun time.
Good thing he was the first grandson.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
I like going to Home Depot and getting a tree. I don't have to fuss with no chopping nothing down. They're beautiful trees. This is a Home Depot tree right here. I like putting up Christmas lights, sort of, in a way. But my favorite thing is to watch the kids, just their excitement about every part of Christmas, every little day leading up to the Advent calendar, the enthusiasm in all their voices. And that's just the best part to me, is seeing the kids' excitement for giving each other gifts and for Christ's birth.
I like the music, and I like playing in the snow, and I like getting presents from Christmas, and I like music and making a snowman.
My favorite, do they have lollipop and candy and candy.
You like candy from Christmas?
Yeah.
Good.
I picked out a present from my brother Joe, and I could tell it was movies. And so I opened it, and I found these. And so I didn't know whether to laugh at it, because I was wondering if it was all I was getting, or if I was supposed to cry. And Mom says, "Hey Daniel, how about look inside?" And I look inside both of the movies. One is Elf, and the other is Chicken Run.
Merry Christmas from the Petersons.
Here's one of my favorite Christmas memories. We were married in December, and our first Christmas together, Greg already had this set of golf clubs that he'd gotten at a yard sale, and so I asked my sister to get a golf bag for him, and we were adding up what we owe for Christmas and all the, money that we owed, and he was like, "Well, where's the, what did you spend this on?" And I said, "Oh, it's for that golf bag." I was like, "Oh." So, yeah, I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
What do you love about Christmas time?
It's summertime.
You love summertime? Is that your favorite thing about Christmas, is summertime?
Presents.
One thing that we like to do is open a Christmas present on Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas from the Hall family. Merry Christmas!
One of my favorite Christmas memories was about 19 years ago. I got invited to Christmas with Danny's family, and we were dating at the time, and he gave me a Christmas ornament, and I thought, wow, a Christmas ornament. And when I opened it up, there was an engagement ring, and he asked me to marry him Christmas Day in front of his whole family.
I like the presents. I love presents.
Hi. One of our favorite traditions of the holidays is we make gingerbread houses together as a family on Christmas Eve.
And it's fun, 'cause there's lots of candy for Brittany to eat. When I was younger, I never thought I got my fair share of Christmas gifts. And I finally realized what the difference was, what was going on in our family. My brother Brian would get up before anybody else, and he'd go around and look at mine and his toys, and then he would decide which ones he wanted, which ones he didn't want. He would go around and take his sticker off or he would change stickers around where he would get some of my presents. And my mom, she had no idea because she had so many kids, me and Brian being the oldest two kids in the family. It took me a few years before I figured that out. Well, now it was my turn to get even with everybody. So I was in charge of the family presents for the year. And how most families do, you put all the names in a hat and you draw your names to see who you're going to get with, who you're going to be able to buy a present for. And so I had this scheme where I was going to get back at the family for nobody ever taking care of me and for all the times my brother Brian cheated me on my Christmas gifts. So what I did, I said, I'm in charge of the family Christmas presents this year. And now this year we're going to do a little bit different. It's going to be a surprise Christmas gift. So nobody tell anybody who you have. That way it'll be a big surprise come Christmas morning. So don't tell anybody. And we had, I believe, 8 kids at the time. So I got name tags for everybody in the house. And every one of them said Gary on it. And I said, this way I'm going to get my presents that are due me after the years of my brother cheating me. And so I wrote Gary on all the name tags. And I reminded everybody just before, I said, don't tell anybody who you have. It's a secret. The secret Santa. Don't tell Sandy and Lori. They couldn't keep a secret. And they had to share each other. And so Lori turned to Sandy and says, I have Gary. Well, I have Gary too. And then somebody else said, well, I have Gary too. So my scheme did not work. I was lucky I got one present that year but anyway, so I'm still due all those presents. I'm still waiting for justice.
Yep, that's the way it happened. Our Christmas that we remember, I'll tell my side of it and Christy can tell her side of it because they're quite different. But I was working and I get this phone call. I was working shift work out the paper mill and Christy says, it's time, let's go have a baby. And so I'm getting out of work, so I rush home on Christmas Eve and...
Well, I was going to start with 20 years ago. We went to this ward party where it was a night in Jerusalem, and I literally was playing the part of Mary. And it was very tender to be in that condition and feel the love that she may have had, that I know she had for the child. And I felt the same way as everyone was dressed in Jerusalem clothing. And so back to Christmas Eve was when...
1992.
Yes, 20 years ago. And I thought, wow, we're going to have a baby on Christmas, and I'm born on Christmas, and that's a terrible thing to do to a child. Share their birthday with everyone. But it's been a real pleasure to have a birthday, the same birthday as the Savior. Maybe not when I was a kid did I like that, but having Bo on Christmas was memorable because...
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve. It was definitely a memorable Christmas for us because our kids were so excited to see their baby brother. We dressed him in a little Santa suit and came home, and we had a late Christmas, and they were anxious to see their gifts, but the most exciting thing was that new baby.
What do you like about Christmas?
Your presents and the Christmas tree.
Why is Christmas special?
Because then you can get presents and you can set up your Christmas tree and put lights.
Who was born at Christmas time?
Jesus.
Now imagine that you were there when Jesus was born. What would you do, or what would you say? why do we celebrate Christmas?
So we can celebrate Jesus' birth.
What's your favorite present you ever got? For Christmas.
A police car that has a control that you could have. And a button that you could turn on the lights.
And when the wise men came to baby Jesus, what kind of presents did they bring him? Do you remember?
A bed.
Not a bed.
It's hard. I love Christmas because we get to open presents and play in the snow and set up the Christmas tree.
And why do we have Christmas? What's Christmas about?
About Jesus' birthday.
And where was he born?
In heaven. No.
Where was Jesus born?
When a star opens up and one more than two wise men were coming to Jesus. What I love most about Christmas is Jesus' birth. What I most like about Christmas is the day that Jesus died.
And why do we celebrate Christmas?
Because that's what God wants us to do.
How come?
Because we haven't had Christmas for a year.
And who was born on Christmas?
Jesus.
Where was he born at? And why is Christmas special?
Because it's Jesus' birthday.
And where was he born?
Heaven.
Was there a town that he was born at, a certain town?
Yeah.
What's that town's name? Do you remember? It starts with a B.
Bethlehem.
You're right. What presents did the wise men bring him?
Gold, myrrh, frankincense.
What do you love about Christmas?
I love Christmas trees.
Why do we have Christmas?
Because it's special.
It is special. Why is it special?
Because everyone loves it.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
One of the traditions that I don't like about Christmas is having to pay for it for the following year after Christmas.
Bah humbug.
Most of all that I want for Christmas is my 7 teeth.
Let me see them.